right, we'll check 2 minutes past 7 o'clock. Now, what's in the time to talk this morning for the radio? And of course, now time to rush. Check what's in the paper. They talk this morning for Citizen FM 93.7 for inside of Abuja, Super Citizen at Sunrise. The Punch newspaper, they here so this morning. And we will rush check them one by one. Within all of the paper, them to talk. The big one for the Punch newspaper this morning talks National Assembly APC anointed candidates rebels to slug it out. So on top of the National Assembly matter, National Assembly APC anointed candidates rebels to slug it out. Then the one we concern the leadership of the National Assembly. Talk about the ones where they be say APC don't talk. Say, oh yeah, now you be the person where be say the party bring come outside. But then some people still they know they happy with the arrangement, and of course themselves then they re-strategize, they regroup to see how they gonna take do them. Then of course we see for the riders, they say Yari others fail to step down for Akpabio. Abbas as leadership poll holds. Yari others fail to step down for Akpabio. And Abbas as leadership poll holds. That one day there. Izunaso Musa withdraw. Lawal endorses Akpabio after Tinubu meeting. All of them there for inside of the Punch. The big headline talk about the national here. Some of these things from time to time here and then, because they say rogue all these police people, when they say they know the ethical, they know the professional with how they do their work. So they collect 153,000 naira from one undergraduate, and then the Commissioner of Police now don't remove the DPO. Now the story, that's particular story there for inside of the Punch newspaper this morning. And then of course, still, Tinubu governors urge Nigerians to defend democracy. Say, I'm making a defend democracy, defend it. Fit do it, fit borrow loan. You understand? Fit borrow money. When they go to like indigent student or student when they be say they know it would blow them too much. You understand? Yesterday, and I would have heard that one. Yesterday will be June 12th. When they be saying the president come outside and sign that student loan bill into law. And he signed the bill, it become law. Student loan bill into law. Now, of course, Daily Alaki, when it be saying an aid to the president, then come outside and talk this one for inside of the matter. They tell State House correspondents yesterday, saying, so it don't be now. So this particular bill, it will help Nigerian students make them get loan. And that loan, so, they not go give, but they not go pay them with interest. When they go pay back, they not go pay back with interest. You understand? Ogadele Alake still on see the can't be say they talk this particular one for Monday after when it be say the president signed the bill into law for inside of the presidential villa for Abuja. Talk about action. Even like say this president to get action, because this now what I remember say during campaign he mentioned this one, say loans go there available to students, may they collect loan, they go school. You understand? So you don't sign them to law. The other thing now implementation, and to ensure say nobody go hijack any part of the process. Implementation, because the president obviously he know the doll. He don't swing into action. They do some things and we see him. All right, so that one day there for inside of the matter for the Punch newspaper this morning. The Punch newspaper. But then they say ASU and ASOP, then they express doubts. That might be the headline when they inside of the Punch. They say then they express doubts. Now, why didn't they express doubts? I don't know. Of course, ASU, Academic Staff Union of Universities, Academic Staff Union of Universities, and ASOP will be Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics. They express they get their own concerns, they get their own reservations about that particular student loan. So, you did on top of the Punch newspaper this morning. Family demands presidential entitlements for Abiola. That one day there. Family demands presidential entitlements for Abiola, that MKO Abiola. So in family they demand say, they're supposed to give all the entitlement where they give president. Both I believe that one will include both the national honor will be GCFR. That one will be include all the everything where they supposed to give president. The family of MKO Abiola, they demand now, say make them give them all in presidential entitlement by Akimbo. That one day there too for the Punch. All of them for inside of the Punch newspaper. Check your time now. 9 minutes past 7 o'clock. With the check within the paper. The talk this morning on top the radio. Citizen FM 93.7 for Abuja. Yes. So on top of Business Day. Business Day there. They say the big headline there. They say yam, rice, gari prices surge by 200% under Emefiele. Under Emefiele. Anyway, yam, rice, gari prices surge by 200%. That means it swell up. Like the gari where they talk so now, the price itself swell up like the gari. It swell up. Yam, rice, gari prices surge by 200% under Emefiele. Consumer goods, firms, grapple income tax. That one self day there. Business Day, all of them this morning. Major reforms needed to meet 6% GDP growth. That one day there too for inside of Business Day. All of them for inside of the matter. For Vanguard this morning, the big one for the Vanguard newspaper. Inauguration power show as 10th NAS gets underway today. That one day there for inside of Vanguard, the big headline. Then, of course, we see Akpabio Yari square up for Senate presidency. Abbas Wase for reps speakership. My power balancing advocacy twisted by agents of division. Nashetima de Toxo say the power balancing advocacy, because in the advocate say based on one or two, make they allow Christian, make it become the Senate president. You know, they say in power advocacy, say that one, they twist them. All right, so that one day there, still on steel for inside of the matter. We are yet to decide minority leadership. Now, PDP, they talk that particular one as you take the B. Governors, they say governors have agreed to support Tinubu's choice. Now, Makinde, they talk so. Say governors don't agree. So we will support the choice of Tinubu for inside of the National Assembly matter. That one day there. Inducement allegations irresponsible. Now the group of Yari, Yari's group, they talk that one. They say the one when they give them allegation, they hang allegation for their neck like a necklace. Say themselves, then they induce people. That means then they look for one or two ways to bring people, to corner people on their side. Say that one, an irresponsible allegation. All of them still there, and plenty of those headlines. Then 55 South members elect adopt Abbas Kalu for reps speaker deputy. That one day there. All of them for inside of the matter for the in fact everything we concern this National Assembly inauguration. Day on top, they break up down at the big headline for the Vanguard this morning. Then, of course, we see on top of the Vanguard, still on steel, June 12th, Abiola was forerunner to entrench democracy tenets in Nigeria. And Akingibe, they talk so. They say Abiola was forerunner to entrench democracy tenets in Nigeria based on June 12th arrangement. Akingibe, and they talk that one. A day on top of Vanguard, on top of the matter. Anthrax. They say, stop eating pama. Make una come up body for pama. I go buy again. Pama, every minute pama mering. Every minute pama meta. You understand? With brocoto and all those ungongo nanjanja. They say that pama, that particular pama, so they say make you stop to eat pama based on disease we burst out with called anthrax. They say stop eating pama and bush meat. Now, federal government they tell Nigeria say, "But man, bush meat they dangerous. So no be now we go say, eba mi ge KKK, eba mi ge KKK, KFC ni no this ni no femi, ofem ni no fem." Now Yoruba and Igbo they mash together and to consign me. He said, "Let me cut it by small. Pour me inside my pot of soup, okay? No be this time, oh. They say we could come up body first for eating of pomo and bushmeat because of this particular matter with the anthrax. That one day there for inside of the Vanguard this morning. Then of course, June 12th, INEC APC dishonored Abiola's memory, says PDP. That one day there this morning for inside of the Vanguard newspaper. Then we still see this one saying no witch hunt in cancelling employment of 12,000 civil servants. Now Governor Alia and I talk that one for inside of Benue State there. That one will be like unspoken tradition. Most of the times, if government no continue, if now another party take over, usually it go like say they go undo some of the things where the former government don't do. See what did happen for Kano State, for instance. Usually they happen like that. If another party take over power from another party for any state, or even at the federal level, most times, at least we experience one or two for instead of 2015, most times the power don't switch like that. The new government, the new party, they come with new things. You understand? For Abia State, similar thing they go on there for Abia State, Anyway, that one day there for inside of the arrangement. So Governor Ali of Benue State to say no be witch hunt, no be witch hunt. So that be by witch hunting, take pursue 12,000 people come out for civil service, make it come out, but they make it no go to say now witch hunting. Petrol marketers on top petrol matter, and they say marketers struggle to supplies. Then they struggle to raise capital for new supply, and that one now because people who don't actually cut down on fuel consumption. Because if you see the way people they manage movement, the way road they dry these days, it comes like every day in a public holiday. People know they carry car full everywhere again. It should be at the great Safil, file manager Kuko. They tell us the other day, say for inside their estate meeting, what did they do? Where people go to gather for inside estate, people go carry their car from different sides, from their houses. They come for estate meeting inside the estate. But when this thing happens, so now people we can't see where everybody they do fit farm. Everybody wear sneakers, wear tracksuit, they jog, they come meeting. You understand? So people don't actually cut down. Not be everywhere where you go carry motor. If you see in a very walkable distance, you walk. Walking is good for your heart, especially if you still there young. It's good for you. You know they call them trekking. Waka, not be trekking, not be suffer, you suffer. You they help yourself. Except of course the place they very far. And nobody say you want break any Guinness World Record, because actually now Nigerians now everybody want break record. Who go break the record of the longest trekking where they don't trek for this life? That one day there. So all of them for inside of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Then of course subsidy, Nigerians groaning. NBA they tell Tinubu bars, the Nigerian Bar Association, they tell the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu say on top of this subsidy matter, Nigerians they collect, Nigerians they groan. That groan they mean say but did they tell some people? What did they tell Nigerians? That one day there now, according by the NBA, that one day there, Tinubu signed student loan bill into law. Yes, yesterday, on sign on that one day for almost many of the papers this morning. So students now, students will be say they know to hold their side, where they know to buoyant, they know to be buoyant like that. They can fit to do it, and they can borrow. You understand? You can borrow money, and the money according by how they take talk and say now interest free. You don't need to pay interest to. You go pay interest. Just borrow the money, go and do what you want to do. Go collect interest. That one, now one of the things we make them very interesting there as you take the B. Anyway, all of them there for inside of the matter based on how it go. Then, of course, we still check. I'm waiting the papers, they talk, still on steel. All of the papers they here. We still there on top of Vanguard newspaper this morning. And then on top of the Vanguard, on top of Vanguard, which other headline they here? Then we'll see subsidy, not NUT, Nigeria Union of Teachers, parents faults reduction in school days. The fault reduction in school days. Yeah, you can remember based on this matter, some of the Yeah, some of the for states like Kaduna, for instance, before now, states like Kaduna don't they work for, don't reduce, like 4 days actually, instead of 5, now 4 days working days and all of that. Okay, so some of the states like Kwara states, we mentioned something like that recently. So the national, this particular one, the NUT, we concern teachers for inside of the country, join body, we hold teachers together for inside of the country. Themselves, they don't come outside the contact say that are the Nigeria Union of Teachers, actually, not national, Nigeria Union of Teachers. They don't come outside the contact say even some of the parents, they fault the reduction of school days. The one where they don't reduce how many days where students going to go school. They don't fault and say, to augur well, based on 1 or 2. That one day there. Then, of course, we still see can to Nigerians learn from 1993 election to build true democracy. That one self day there this morning. Learn from 1999 election to build true democracy. That one self day there this morning. Don't forget the numbers when we will take talk this morning day there. Yes, it day there on top 0903 22 29 797 on the score. We get 0818 22 22 205. Of course, we get 0818 22 22 206. All of them, then they here this morning. The day here this morning. So they go. Now, we go hear from you. We go open the phone lines shortly this morning. But then, make we still check some of the headlines. The headlines, them day there, 7:21 now. Now, waiting time to talk. If you want to drop message for WhatsApp, go ahead on top 0818 22 22 205. Now, on top of Vanguard, still on still, we didn't talk about Vanguard. Which other headlines we never touch for Vanguard now this morning? We don't talk about the bushmeat. Yes, come on, buddy, for bushmeat. Yes. And Pomo. I know some people like Pomo well. People love Pomo, but make a cool down with that Pomo matter now. According by federal government, that one day there. The Daily Times this morning, NAS inauguration, the big headline is a NAS inauguration. Yari Izunaso adamant. Akpabio hopeful today as tension grips Senate. Yari Izunaso, then they adamant, according by the TikTok, and they say Akpabio get hope. They hopeful today. Based on say the tension now don't grip based on 1 or 2 the tension don't grip Senate. That one day there. Kanu may have settled for DSP. That one day there. Ace journalist Otitoju predicts surprise emergence of Izunaso. All of them day there for inside of the Daily Times this morning. How Nigerian students will benefit from students' loan bill. Now, who they talk so? Of course, not the one and only Bajabia Mila. When he be say, of course, say now they function as the chief of staff to the president. That one day there. Diri consoles families of dead Bayelsa indigents. That one self day there. 10th NAS, Senate president must be a Christian. Makinde, they talk so. Senate president must be a Christian. Well, I don't know. When did they do this thing now? I know they know why it matter all of a sudden. If you can run a Muslim ticket and you based the whole thing on say, okay, how about competency? How about, I don't know why it matter now. So if we talk about being a Christian, what we want, even if not Muslim day there, it don't matter at this point. At this point, it doesn't even matter because what we need is somebody will go carry the heart of the people for mind. Because if you really want the place